All right, today we're jumping into one of the most powerful and honestly just fascinating origin stories in all of mythology, the birth of Lord Ganesh. It's an incredible story of divine creation, a really tragic conflict, and in the end, an amazing transformation that gave us one of the world's most beloved gods.
So you gotta ask, right? How is a god actually born? Well, the answer isn't so simple. It's a story that doesn't start with some big cosmic bang, but with a very, very human emotion, a mother's deep longing for a son.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Our story begins on the majestic, divine peak of Mount Kailash. This is the home of two of the absolute powerhouses in the Hindu pantheon, Lord Shiva and the goddess Parvati. And right here is where the stage is set for some serious family drama. Now, what's so interesting here is that this whole epic story gets kicked off by a feeling we can all relate to: loneliness. You see, Shiva would go into these super deep meditations for long, long periods of time. And Parvati, well, she just wanted a son, someone who would be hers and hers alone.
This deep desire leads her to do something truly extraordinary. She decides to create a son, not from flesh and blood in the usual way, but from the very essence of her own being.
She literally molds a boy from the earth of her own body, and then miraculously breathes life into him. And this part is absolutely crucial. Ganesh was born only of her. This act of solo creation created this unbreakable bond between them, a bond of pure, absolute loyalty. So Parvati gives her new son, Ganesh, his very first job, a sacred duty. As she gets ready to bathe, she stations him right at the entrance to her private rooms and gives him this one, simple, absolute command. At that moment, that was his only purpose: to obey his mother. And you just know this one simple command is about to spark a conflict of cosmic proportions. Because right at that very moment, Lord Shiva, who has no idea he even has a son, is on his way home. And this just lays out the problem so perfectly. On one side, you have Ganesh. He's bound by his mother's command, Ma Ga Adesh. On the other side, you have Shiva, the master of the house, who just wants to enter his home, Ghar mein pravesh. Here's the thing. Neither one is wrong, but both of them are absolutely unyielding. What happened next was just a tragic misunderstanding on a massive scale. Ganesh, being fiercely loyal, refused to let this stranger pass. And Shiva, the Lord of the universe, is of course insulted that this boy is blocking him from his own home. A terrible battle was pretty much inevitable. The whole confrontation just escalated, and fast. The boy's incredible determination was met with the full, raw power of a god. The result was swift, and it was devastating. In a moment of absolute rage, because he just could not get past the boy's devotion to his duty, Shiva unleashes his divine power. And in one single terrible act, he severed Ganesh's head from his body. And just like that, the rage is gone. In its place is this unimaginable grief, deep regret, and just a desperate search for a way to fix this. A new life now has to be forged from this absolute tragedy. When Parvati found out what happened, her sorrow was just inconsolable. She turns to Shiva, and her grief turns into this powerful demand. This wasn't a negotiation. Her son had to be brought back. The moment Shiva realizes that this boy was Parvati's creation, his own son, he's just overcome with remorse. He understands the catastrophic weight of his mistake and immediately promises to undo it, to bring Ganesh back from the dead. So Shiva sets a very clear and very urgent plan in motion. He commands his divine attendants, the Ganas, to go north and bring back the head of the very first living thing they find. And he means now. Time was running out. And that first creature, by what seems like a twist of fate, happened to be an elephant. So, following their lord's command, the Ganasas took the elephant's head and rushed back to Mount Kailash. This single moment, right here, would define Ganesha's image for all of time. And here, the miraculous sequence is complete. Shiva attached the elephant's head to the boy's body and, with his divine power, breathed life back into him. In that moment, Ganesh was reborn, no longer just a boy made of clay, but now a true god.
And with this rebirth came a new name, a new purpose, and immense power. This new form made him one of the most important deities in the entire pantheon. He was named Vignaharta, and this title is everything. Vigna means obstacle, and Harta means remover, the remover of obstacles. It makes perfect sense, right? Because he faced the ultimate obstacle at that door, and then overcame even death itself. He became the god who removes all obstacles for everyone. And with that title, he also became the Lord of New Beginnings. He's worshipped for bestowing wisdom, or buddhi, prosperity, samriddhi, and good fortune, which is saubhagya. His blessing is the one you seek before you start any new venture. And so that incredible journey is complete. From a boy molded from earth, born from a mother's love, to a powerful, elephant-headed god revered by millions. His story is just this timeless testament to loyalty, rebirth, and the power to overcome the impossible. And that leaves us with one final thought. The story of Ganesh teaches us that even the most insurmountable barriers can be overcome. So, as we close, it's worth asking yourself, what obstacle lies in your path?